Catholic Charities of Santa Clara County presents Change Lives for Good with your host, Greg Kepferle.
Hello and welcome to Change Lives for Good. I'm your host, Greg Kepferle, CEO of Catholic Charities of Santa Clara County. I want to introduce you to two amazing people, Aprylle Gilbert and Jose Reyes, and they're going to talk about a wonderful idea to benefit the Washington United Youth Center. So Aprylle and Jose, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So I understand that you're planning on running cross-country across the United States on Route 6 to benefit the Washington United Youth Center.
Yes, I am.
How many miles is that going to be?
3,652.
Wow, that is wonderful. And Jose, you're her coach. And how did this happen? How did you get together, and how did you come up with this idea of doing this coast-to-coast run for kids?
We met back in Campbell, California, and we started planning this 2 years ago.
So it takes a long time to start planning.
Correct.
You start dreaming about it, you want to run, and then you have to have this plan to make it happen, right?
We met in the park and we were both running and became running partners. And the idea to run across the country was my original idea, and then Jose has just added to it in so many amazing ways.
So with this idea to run across the country, you needed a coach, you needed some support, you needed a partner to help you make this happen.
I really do need somebody to help me, because he's going to be my escort vehicle, but also he gives me encouragement, and he also brought me here to Washington United Youth Center.
So both of you now have this connection to Washington United Youth Center, but that really started with you, Jose. And how did that start? How did you get connected?
That's correct. I'm actually a Washington United Youth Center recipient. I started back in 1999, 2000, and ever since started volunteering after I turned 18. So I started volunteering with the kids. We took some river rafting trips, doing different extracurricular activities, weightlifting, doing Zumba, playing with kids in the gym. We did handball tournaments, basketball tournaments, volleyball, and so forth.
So not only did you participate in the center, but then you also gave back to the other kids in the center by helping them get involved with physical activities and things like the river rafting. It also builds character. The relationships, you're out in the wilderness, you got to learn how to get along with people, right?
That's correct. You build a family relationship with the youth and the staff.
Mm-hmm. So how did you end up becoming a coach?
I started taking interest in becoming a coach not that while ago, because I wanted to encourage kids to do something after school, and I saw the necessity here in the community, so I decided to become a coach when I took this classes for the United States Track and Field Association, and ever since I began coaching for high and middle school. Mm-hmm. For 6th, 7th, 8th grade middle school kids.
Yeah, that's terrific. So now you kind of graduated from 6th, 7th, 8th grade middle school students, and now you're coaching a true cross-country runner, which is really awesome. And Aprylle, how did you ever come up with this idea of doing a coast-to-coast run for kids?
I just thought of the idea, I don't know how. It just seems like such an amazing accomplishment. There's been people who have actually completed running across the United States. I follow their blogs, and I've read articles about people who have actually accomplished that, and it's just something that's kind of a dream of mine.
Wonderful. And you're taking, what, Route 6? So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, US Route 6 is the longest transcontinental highway in America, and the US Route 6 Tourist Association is dedicated to keeping that route alive. And it used to start in Long Beach and go all the way to Massachusetts, but now down in LA it's kind of like spaghetti. Mm-hmm. But it does start in Bishop. Okay. And now I'm going to have to sort of make my way through the streets of Southern California to like hook up with,
out of the
right.
maze of all of the freeways in Southern California. But actually you're actually starting from here to get down to Southern California, right? So.
Right. It's sort of like a warm up. I'm going to start at Capitola Beach and run to Monterey my first day. I'm going to do about 30 miles a day, which is about a reduced amount of mileage from what I plan to go from Long Beach to Massachusetts, and run for about 10 days.
To get down to Long Beach.
And then I'm going to take a break.
Okay, you take a break, get down to Long Beach, then you start heading across the continent.
Right.
And how long are you planning to take to get across the country?
2.5 months.
2.5 months, wow.
Hopefully.
That's a major commitment of time. And I've got to ask, how many shoes?
I'm thinking about 6. We'll see. I'll let you know.
Okay, she said it's 6 shoes. We'll see. All right, we'll see if she needs more shoes along the way, right? But you're going to have supporters along the way to make sure things are going smoothly.
Well, I have Jose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's my supporter.
Okay, your escort along the way to make sure things go smoothly. Wonderful. So again, you're doing this because you have a passion for running, but you're also an artist. You're both artists. You're a musician, a singer, and you're also a dancer. And maybe talk a little bit about that. That you've got this athletic spirit, this desire to give back to the community, and you also have this artistic part of yourself.
Music is definitely my other passion besides running. And that's how I express myself. It's how I deal with just life's hardship or excitement, or the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's what I write about in my songs. Uh-huh. And I'm fortunate that I'm able to have a career in music and be able to express myself and do what I love to do.
Right, so with that, on your run, are you going to have a chance to do some music too?
Yes. I have shows booked from here down to Long Beach, and I'm still working on the inland states. Okay,
the runner-singer, making it across country for kids, helping the kids here at the Washington United Youth Center. So Jose, why is it so important to have someone running on behalf of the kids here in the Washington neighborhood? Why? Because when you talked with Aprylle, you said, don't just do a run, make it a charity run. And hey, by the way, right, you said you've got this connection here with Washington. Why is that so important to you?
It's very important for me because I can see the need these kids really need. They need somebody that they can look onto. Aprylle, I'm pretty sure she's a great inspiration for all these kids. We are trying to promote citizenship, leadership, and sportsmanship, because it's very important for all these kids to go out there and in the real world and experience what the nature can offer.
Right. So there's the inspiration that, I mean, just the idea of you running coast to coast is inspiring. And the fact that it takes such endurance, such planning, is, I think, very inspirational to a lot of people, not just to the kids, but to the community as a whole. So I just want to say thank you so much for doing this. And we'll be right back with more on Aprylle Gilbert, Jose Reyes, and this amazing coast-to-coast run for kids. But first, watch this.
I am so proud to be here today to launch this race, the coast-to-coast race for kids that Miss Aprylle Gilbert is doing to benefit each of you here at the Washington United Youth Center. So this is absolutely wonderful that Aprylle's doing this. Before we get started and before I introduce Aprylle, I do want to introduce a very special guest who is our own council member right here in the Washington neighborhood, Councilmember Raul Perales. Come on up.
Thanks, Greg. And thank you, Sarah, for the invite, for allowing me to be here today. When I saw the invitation and saw what April was planning to do, I wasn't going to miss this for the world. For you being able to step up for the community, and for one, just to do this run, that's going to be quite a feat. But then to put on top of the run, to give back to the community, it's unheard of. And what you're doing here, we thank you so much on behalf of the city. I want to thank Catholic Charities as well. As you know, the city had a facility that we could not use, and you stepped up and you've kept the doors open, the lights on. You've been able to keep programs here for a very important neighborhood and community that we know needs the support of everyone. And so I want to say thank you to Catholic Charities. Thank you, April, and I wish you the best on your run, and we look forward to seeing you when you get back. So, thank you.
Your candy kisses, cherry, sweet and delicious. It feels like it's been ages. I can't help but remember those days we spent together, hanging out at that hotel in Vegas. You say black, I say white. You say go and I stop, but you're always right.
Now, April, though, is doing this not just to run across country, which is amazing in itself, but she's doing it as a fundraiser for us here at the Washington United Youth Center. And you have a website and a way that people can donate?
I have a website. It's aprylle.com, A-P-R-Y-L-L-E. And that's where you can get to the link to the fundraising page. Okay.
And so we can donate, and you already have donations. She's raising money right now. So we don't have to wait till she starts in May. She's raising right now, aprylle.com, A-P-R-Y-L-L-E.com, and that will connect to the donation page for April raising money for the Washington United Youth Center, this coast-to-coast run for kids.
Your candy kisses, cherry, sweet and delicious. It feels like it's been ages. I can't help but remember those days we spent together, hanging out at that hotel in Vegas. You say black, I say white. You say go and I stop, but you're always right.
Catholic Charities works to end poverty by helping families and individuals get the tools they need to become more self-reliant. It offers a hand up rather than a handout through a wide range of services and serves more than 41,000 people each year of all cultures and beliefs.
Hello and welcome back to Change Lives for Good. I'm your host, Greg Kepferle, CEO of Catholic Charities of Santa Clara County. And with me are Aprylle Gilbert and Jose Reyes, who are working to plan this amazing coast-to-coast run for kids that's benefiting the Washington United Youth Center run by Catholic Charities. Welcome back, Aprylle and Jose.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we were talking about the run, and one of the things that I'm always curious about is for any of us, whether it's the kids at the Washington United Youth Center or any of us adults watching the show, how do we get ourselves ready to do any sort of run or any sort of sports? What does it take to get ready to engage in sports and engage in a run?
I think I can talk about that because I was a new runner just a few years ago, and honestly, you have to just get out there first of all and get outside and start walking. And when you're walking and you're enjoying the outdoors, it's gonna make you wanna keep going back out there. And once you're out there, just try to run a little ways and see how far you can go. And keep doing that every day.
Every day?
Every day.
Okay, it doesn't matter, like 15 minutes, half an hour?
Even if it's 5 minutes.
Okay.
Just keep trying to improve on the amount of time that you can run each day, and don't forget to stretch.
And don't forget to stretch. Okay, good. And Jose, what advice would you give?
I would advise all those new athletes that want to compete out there. For me, it's not just about competing with others. It's about more competing with yourself. And I believe that if you start by visualizing yourself, train yourself, by visualizing you're executing your plan, you'll feel less tense. You'll have more energy, and you can control your body with your mind. So for me, it's more of mind over body. And I don't know if there's been facts, but I heard from other athletes that 90% it's mental and 10% is physical.
Okay.
So you don't know how far you can go until you actually have been out there exposed.
All right, so it's mind over body, right? Or mind with body, where it's 90%. It's your mind, it's your will, it's your commitment. But it's also visualization. So you're imagining, when you visualize, you're imagining what? You imagine where you're going, or you imagine every step, or what do you visualize?
You visualize yourself, how are you running, your posture, your running technique, your stretching, breathing. Everything's just it's in conjunction with one another. Breathing is very important, as well as stretching, as well as while you're executing the exercise.
Okay, so I'm thinking of this as an analogy for the kids here at the Washington United Youth Center. They're running for their lives, right? In a sense, you're running for their lives. And it's visualizing them in their lives being successful and happy and safe and in a community that's empowered and loving and caring, surrounded by teammates and friends that create a strong and healthy community. And as I think about the run that you're doing across country, as I think about you and I visualize you on that run, I'm also visualizing the kids here and why you're doing this run. So I'm just very, very much inspired by what you're doing. But this inspiration also has a very personal side. As you think about these kids, you had your own challenges growing up.
I ran away from home when I was 15. I was out there on the road. I went from New York to Arizona. I ended up in California. And I worked and I supported myself, and I think that I would just like to inspire kids to stay home and stay in school. And I believe strongly that an extracurricular activity such as running or any type of interest that kids have if they have an interest to keep them going, it's going to prevent them from making bad mistakes because it gives them something to shoot for.
That's great. So it becomes this, in a sense, an outlet, right? That if they have a goal, they can stay with school, even though it's hard. They can stay with home. They can find that safe community, like here at the Washington United Youth Center. They don't need to run away from home. They can stay.
And a program like this could make all the difference for a kid.
Yeah.
Because I've been here and I've watched the youth counselors interact with the kids, and I've seen the encouragement that they've given, and I just think it's wonderful. And I think that type of encouragement is what kids need to help them, because it's hard when they're out there in school, peer pressure, violence. That's what these kids today have to withstand in order to make it through high school.
Right, and so by having role models like the two of you, and I was just hearing that one of our staff members was saying, Jose, you've been just such an amazing role model to the youth and children here at the Washington Youth Center over the years. It's really inspiring, and now that you're April's coach and doing this across country, that is just an amazing culmination of the work and contributions you've been giving to the Washington United Youth Center. So I just want to say thank you, Jose, on behalf of Catholic Charities. And I want to say thank you, April, because your message, the message that you're giving of inspiration to youth, inspiration to families to stay together, youth to stay in school, for programs to help youth thrive and succeed and inspire them with that commitment of your run. I just want to say thank you. That is really, really inspiring. So thank you very much. Yeah. So other messages that you would have for family members, for the youth in the community, or athletes that you would any ideas of things that you would like to add?
I just think it's most important to try to stay positive mentally, because it's really easy for us as humans to let all the negative thoughts take over. And I think that positive thinking, it goes so far into keeping the family together, keeping the kids positive, a word of encouragement. That's what I would say.
A word of encouragement goes a long way.
Goes a long way.
Yeah. And as a coach, right, you're always encouraging, yes. Right? So how do you encourage the people that you coach?
I encourage all the athletes by telling them to stay in school, to do good deeds one another, and for the parents to support their kids, to encourage their kids to do better in life.
That's great. That's the message. So here we are at Catholic Charities Washington United Youth Center, celebrating the beginning of an amazing cross-country run for kids that's benefiting Catholic Charities Washington United Youth Center here in San Jose. I'm here with Aprylle Gilbert, her coach Jose Reyes, who is an alumnus of the Washington Youth Center and who's been a volunteer here. And we're celebrating the Coast to Coast Run for Kids. Thank you for joining us with two people who are changing lives for good and whose own lives have been changed for good through their experience. And until next time, remember to speak up, reach out, and change lives for good.